Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling off? Like something just happened, but you can't quite put your finger on what it was. Maybe you agreed to something you didn't want to do. Maybe you suddenly feel guilty about a boundary you set. Or maybe you're questioning your own reality, your own memory, wondering if you're the problem. Here's what nobody tells you about manipulation. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't walk into the room with a sign that says, "Hey, I'm about to mess with your head." Real manipulation is subtle. It's quiet. It slips in through the back door of your trust, your empathy, your desire to be a good person. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're already tangled up in it. And here's the really tricky part. The people who manipulate us aren't always villains. Sometimes they're people we love, people we work with, people we've known for years. And that makes it even harder to see, because we don't want to believe that someone we care about would deliberately hurt us. So today, I want to give you something powerful: awareness. Because once you know what to look for, manipulation loses its power. I'm going to walk you through 7 signs that someone is secretly manipulating you. Not the obvious, dramatic signs, but the subtle ones that happen in everyday interactions. The ones that make you feel crazy for even questioning them. The first sign is this. After talking to them, you start doubting yourself, your memory, your perception, your feelings. This is called gaslighting, and it's one of the most insidious forms of manipulation because it attacks the foundation of your confidence, your ability to trust your own mind. You bring up something that hurt you. Maybe they said something cruel last week. You remember it clearly. But when you mention it, they look at you like you've lost your mind. "I never said that." You're remembering it wrong. You're being too sensitive. That never happened. And suddenly, you're the one apologizing. You're the one backtracking. You're thinking, wait, did I imagine that? Am I going crazy? Gaslighting works because it targets something psychologists call epistemic trust, your trust in your own knowledge and perception of reality. And when someone repeatedly tells you that your version of events is wrong, your brain starts to question itself. Start documenting things. Not obsessively, but strategically. Keep a journal. Save text messages. Write down conversations that feel off. This isn't paranoia, it's self-protection. The second sign. They know exactly which buttons to push, and they push them strategically. Manipulators are often incredibly emotionally intelligent. They pay attention. You set a boundary. You say, "I can't help you move this weekend. I have plans." A healthy person responds with, "No problem. I'll figure it out." A manipulator responds with, "Wow, I guess I know where I stand with you. I've done so much for you, and this is how you treat me? I thought we were friends." They took your reasonable boundary and turned it into evidence of your moral failure. They made you feel like the bad guy for taking care of yourself. This is called emotional manipulation, and it leverages something called reciprocity guilt. Manipulators exploit this by keeping a mental ledger of every favor they've ever done, and they cash in those chips the moment you try to prioritize your own needs. Here's the thing. Real relationships aren't transactional. Real friends don't keep score. They don't make you feel guilty for having boundaries. When someone tries to guilt you, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this request reasonable? Or am I being emotionally blackmailed into saying yes? Here's the third sign, and it's a masterclass in deflection. Every time you try to address a problem, somehow they become the victim. You say, "Hey, it really hurt me when you made that comment in front of everyone." And instead of acknowledging your pain, they flip the script. "I can't believe you think I'd hurt you on purpose. You always assume the worst about me. I'm the one who's been walking on eggshells around you. Wait, what just happened?" You came in with a legitimate concern, and now you're comforting them. You're apologizing to them. The entire conversation has been hijacked. This is called DARVO: deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. It's a tactical move that manipulators use to avoid accountability. Stay focused. Don't let the conversation get derailed. Try this. "I hear that you're upset, but I need you to hear what I'm saying. This is about the original issue. If they refuse to engage with the actual issue and continue to center themselves, that's your answer. That tells you they're not interested in resolution. They're interested in control. Sign number 4. They're inconsistent, hot and cold, present and absent, loving and cruel, and it keeps you off balance. This is called intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes they're amazing. They're attentive, affectionate, everything you've been hoping for. You think, see, this is who they really are. I just need to be patient. But then they withdraw. They're cold, distant, critical, and you scramble to figure out what you did wrong. You try harder, you perform, you prove your worth, and just when you're about to give up, they come back. They give you just enough warmth, just enough validation to pull you back in. Sound familiar? Intermittent reinforcement is the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. When rewards are unpredictable, your brain gets more invested, not less. You keep playing, keep trying, because maybe this time you'll hit the jackpot. Maybe this time they'll consistently show up for you. But here's the hard truth. Consistency is not too much to ask for. Healthy relationships don't feel like slot machines. They feel stable. You don't have to earn someone's kindness. It's freely given. The 5th sign is subtle but devastating. They slowly separate you from other people who care about you, not always in obvious ways. They don't necessarily say, "You can't see your friends." Instead, they say things like, "Your family doesn't really get you like I do. Your friends are kind of toxic, don't you think? I just feel like you're happier when it's just us." Or they create drama every time you make plans with someone else. They pick fights. They guilt you. They make it so exhausting to maintain other relationships that eventually you stop trying. And before you know it, they're your only source of feedback, your only mirror, your only perspective on reality. Why do manipulators do this? Because isolation makes you vulnerable. When you don't have other people to reality check things with, when you don't have support systems to turn to, you become dependent on the manipulator. Maintain your relationships fiercely, even when it's inconvenient, even when the manipulator makes it difficult. Your friends and family are not your enemies. They're your lifeline. Sign number 6. They withhold communication, affection, or presence as a way to control you. This is called the silent treatment, and it's emotional abuse disguised as space. Here's the difference. Taking space is healthy. It sounds like, "I need a few hours to cool down, and then we can talk." The silent treatment is punishment. It sounds like nothing. Radio silence. Days of ignoring you. Refusing to tell you what's wrong while making it clear that you've done something wrong. And it leaves you in agony. You spiral. You replay every conversation, every interaction, trying to figure out what you did. You apologize for things you're not even sure you're guilty of. The silent treatment is a power move. It trains you to fear their withdrawal. It teaches you that if you step out of line, you'll be punished with abandonment. Don't chase them. Don't beg for their attention. If someone is using silence to manipulate you, the best thing you can do is refuse to play the game. Say something like, "I'm here when you're ready to talk, but I'm not going to beg you to communicate with me." And then step back. Go live your life.